The Village of Hainesville regular board meeting will now come to order at 7:04 p.m. on Tuesday, October 11th, 2011. If everybody would please rise, and I'll lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mayor Linda Soto.
Present.
Trustees Dernoski.
Here.
Kreis.
Here.
Duberstein. Here. Barrett is absent. Daly.
Here.
And Walkington.
Here.
Okay, we do have a quorum. Trustee Barrett is at a working dinner meeting tonight. He had announced that at the last board meeting. Gary, we're glad you made it just in the nick of time. Hopefully you aren't too tired from all that driving.
Beautiful weather.
And I have a motion for the approval of tonight's agenda, please.
Second.
Roll call.
Trustees Dernoski.
Aye.
Kreis.
Aye.
Duberstein.
Aye.
And Walkington.
Aye.
At this time, we'll take public comments. Anybody that would like to address the board, there's a request sheet that you should have filled out and submitted to the clerk. Any takers tonight? Going. As we move on, I just want to remind the board and our staff that please remember to use the microphone, speak loudly so our audience and our viewers in YouTube land can hear us clearly and understand. Omnibus vote agenda. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Trustees Dernoski.
Aye.
Kreis.
Aye.
Duberstein. Aye. Daly.
Aye.
And Walkington.
Aye.
Excuse me. Motion carried.
Okay, at this time we'll take reports and communications. We'll start off with the village engineer, Greg Ruin.
Thanks, Mayor. As far as the motor fuel tax funds are concerned, we awarded a contract of beam pavement at the last board meeting. We're going to get out there and start Thursday and Friday this week, weather permitting. The IEPA water main loan program, we opened bids September 15th. Although we had approximately 10 plan holders, we only received one bid. It was a good bid from Berger Excavating. They're a local contractor, highly recommended. Their bid was for $227,195.25. The engineer's estimate, which was originally prepared I think in 2008 from RHMG, put the project at cost at $340,597. So the bid, even though we only had one bid, did come in well below the engineer's estimate. Been in contact with the IEPA. We sent the bid down there. They're evaluating it. They said preliminarily that it looks good, and that at this point we should provide an intent to award for Berger Excavating contingent upon receiving the IEPA loan. So that's actually in the business section tonight. That's it.
Thank you. Our attorney, Jim Rack.
Thank you. Earlier this month, the mayor and I met with representatives from Russo to have some conversations about their plans to possibly bring some additional operations here to Hainesville. Also, Trustee Walkington and I attended a CENTCOM meeting looking to get some clarification on Hainesville's status as a CENTCOM member now that we have dispatch that is routed through Glenview. And also have been continuing to work with some of the property owners for the easements for our water main extension project.
Thank you.
If I may ask, any progress with CENTCOM?
I'd say yes, some progress, and I think
I have some news in my report, so I'll shed light on that in a minute. I don't know how much light it is, but it's Public Works Superintendent Jeff Gately.
Thank you very much. Currently, I had received quotes to get parkway trees replaced that were dead and or damaged from storms. There was about half a dozen that have to be taken care of. I've been in contact with the nursery. Should have something put together by the end of this week, so we can plan it hopefully by the end of October, which is ideal to get that done. I've also been busy getting prepared for winter. Unfortunately, all of my summer helpers are gone, so I'm down to myself again, so things are going a little slower than they should be, but we are progressing at a pretty even pace. The extension that we're going to do over on the north side of Cranberry Lake for the townhomes, I did go over there and did a little bit of grading, however.
The erosion project?
The erosion project,
Yeah.
yes, that's what you call it. I did some grading. I didn't know that there was an actual plan. I didn't go back far enough to make it correct as the plan had showed. So we have scheduled for Monday, October 17th, myself and Dave Coulter will be out there to finish the grading and complete the whole thing. And after that is completed, we will take the wood chips that we have a surplus of over at Public Works, spread them on the path, and that should be good to go. That's all I've got. Thanks.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
The company that's the landscaping that's providing the trees, they're putting them in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what kind of a guarantee are we getting?
We get 1 year.
Okay. So I know, I don't know who you went to, but I think H&D will give us 2 years if they put them in.
Yeah, the prices I got on these trees were comparable to what Dave quoted. However, they're about 2-inch caliber larger trees. These are going to be 4 to 5 inch trees that are going to be going in, so they should have a better resistance for being transplanted. They should, since they're a little larger, they're a little more well established. So hopefully we won't continue to have these problems where you put the small ones in and people don't water them.
So they're going to plant it, and they're going to keep an eye on them for a year to make sure they're going to grow, or they're just going to plant them and adios.
They plant them. They will supply gator bags for all the trees that are planted. The village would be responsible, and or the homeowner, to keep the gator bags filled. Habitually in the past, if we've had gator bags on any municipal owned trees that were freshly planted when our water season, we will check those and fill them up as necessary. Some homeowners do it, some don't.
The attraction was the size of the trees, the maturity of the trees that we got for the price.
Yeah, and the reason I'd like to do that is because some of the trees that had come down in the storm were larger size, so I'd like to replace them with something a little larger than the average, 2.5 inch to 3 inch smaller tree. Just to
No, I think it's worth doing, especially for 6 trees, and see how it works.
Yeah.
Okay, building official, Russ Rayleigh.
Which my report was a little lengthy this month. Kind of long, a few pages, but that's what it is. Made a few dollars, issued a few permits, a few yellow tickets, we got some lists cleaned up, so hopefully this month we'll end all that stuff. They've been around today. I got a lot of the stuff that I tagged a couple weeks ago has been cleaned up. The trailers got moved. One trailer got moved, the other trailer got cleaned up, the garbage cans got cleaned up, so.
Russ has been busy.
Yeah, been trying.
You made the
And
suggestion.
he will be persisting, and I have talked with quite a few residents who have come in, some of them dismayed about the warnings they've gotten, but we have stood firm because there's a lot more residents upset, rightfully so, about properties not being maintained or cared for properly, so we'll continue to be diligent about that.
You ended part of your report kind of with a question as if we mattered or cared about whether or not you move. As far as I'm concerned, after you put on your report that the problem has been solved, completed, I don't need to see it again.
That's what I'm going to do. I'll put it on the last time it's on there. It'll say completed in the next month. I'm going to remove it because I'll have 10 or 15 pages more before it starts.
Yeah.
I'll cut that. Okay, that's good.
Great.
That's all I have.
Okay, our EMA coordinator called me earlier at dinner time. He's still at work. They're having an audit going on, so he is staying behind to deal with them. However, he did have an EMA meeting very recently, and they are progressing and setting up the Emergency Operations Center, especially with the winter season coming. They've been moving into the back garage area, and so there was some storage issues that need to be addressed there, so that's all moving forward. Also, he just submitted some information that will be coming out in the new newsletter, so watch for that as well. And then our treasurer is also not here tonight, but given that we just completed the audit, I think she deserves a night off, so we'll excuse Kelly. And we'll move on to the village clerk, Kathy Messler.
Okay, we have a new business in town called Gold Solutions by Lindsay Chiropractor. They opened last week. That's what I
Cash for gold. You've seen those? That's what it is.
I love the statue.
Did you want to mention the districting again? Or?
That's maybe in the newsletter.
Okay. All right, we'll move on to the mayor's report. CENTCOM was brought up, and again, I want to thank Gary Walkington for attending the meeting with Jim Rock as I was on jury duty that week. The outcome of that meeting is they agreed that, yes, indeed, we do need a special meeting to discuss the Hainesville issues. And they had relayed to us that in 2 to 4 weeks they would call a special meeting, because they will also need to call a special meeting to finalize the union contract that is coming out of mediation. So I received an update from the director of CENTCOM today, Lisa Berger. They are having one more meeting with the mediator to finalize some contract points on November 1st. So it is my hope and sincere desire that that special meeting would be called shortly after. I did not have a chance to talk to Mayor McHugh, who's the current chair of the JETS board, that's the Joint Emergency Telephone System Board, today. But I plan on contacting her tomorrow to please request that the special meeting, if it is delayed because of the mediation on November 1st, that the special meeting would be called within the time frame they really had told us, which was 2 to 4 weeks. And that was from about a week ago? Almost 2 weeks ago. Yeah, so we need to move forward on this issue. And it's not just that Hainesville needs answers on the whole dispatching agreement, but the members of CENTCOM on the board, clearly from the attendance of the meeting, aren't even clear on the total situation. So we hope to have that rectified shortly. Other items, there's been a flood of solicitors in the subdivisions again. And we put an article in the newsletter that's coming out. I want to stress to everyone that all solicitors do need a license to solicit in the village. And there are only 2 that are currently licensed. There's quite a few people out knocking on doors. If you answer the door, do not hesitate to ask to see their village license. They should be wearing it or have it handy to show. Don't let them get away with telling you it's in the car. That's baloney. It's not in the car. If they got it, it's on them. I don't recommend you doing business with anyone that does not have the permit from the village. And please call the police at 223-2341 and let them know that there's solicitors that are unlicensed in the area. There is a lot of scams, door-to-door scams, that are plaguing the Central Lake County area right now. The village in the past has also provided no solicitors welcome or invited stickers in the past. I just talked to the clerk because we just ran out and we were going to get new ones printed, so we will have those available. So that can be placed on your side light or screen door, visible to them, and they shouldn't be bothering you if that's not what the type of visitors you would like at your door.
Mayor, do we have any regular exceptions to that? Kids around
yeah,
selling newspapers or?
Well, newspapers are soliciting, but kids that are going door to door for fundraising is a different effort.